Am I the asshole for telling my parents the truth about my stepsister's fiance since they now won't pay for her wedding?
Okay.
I, 28 female, have a stepsister, Jen, 29 female. Our parents got together when we were teenagers, and Jen and I never clicked. I have nothing against her, we just aren't close. From the ages of 22 to 26, I worked at my stepdad's company, and Jen worked there too, and still does. While working there, I became friendly with a colleague, Pete. Everyone in the office would joke about Pete having a crush on me, but I never saw him like that, and he never said anything, so I didn't pay much attention to the possibility. However, when I started dating my now husband, things got a bit awkward with Pete. When I quit my job, Pete and I didn't really stay in contact, but we followed each other on social media. It was a few months later that I saw on Pete's social media that he had started seeing Jen. Pete and Jen got engaged last year, and since, my stepdad agreed to pay for the wedding. A few weeks ago, an old colleague got married, so me, Jen, Pete, and my parents were all at the wedding. Pete was a little over-friendly at the reception, which I put down to alcohol. Later in the evening, though, I was outside getting some air, and Pete came out and basically propositioned me. I made it clear I was extremely uncomfortable and went back inside. The next day, I called Jen and told her everything. She accused me of trying to ruin her relationship and said that I shouldn't make the whole situation worse by telling her dad, since I'd already done enough to sabotage her relationships. I agreed because I didn't feel I had any right to continue being a spanner in the works. What's a spanner?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to look it up. A wrench?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They call it a wrench in Britain or in England. So I'm guessing it's like she means throwing a wrench in the pan. Okay. A week ago, I was Skyping my parents and they were talking about Jen's wedding. They were talking about Pete and my face must have changed because they immediately asked me if something was wrong. I insisted it was nothing, but it turned out they'd seen Pete follow me out at the wedding and had their own theories about what he'd done to upset me, all of which were worse than what actually happened. After 20 minutes of them thinking the worst, I told them the truth. I begged them not to do anything about it since Jen and Pete worked it out, but my stepdad was livid. He called Jen and they had a huge fight, and he refused to pay for the wedding or even attend. Jen has been calling and texting me and posting on social media about what a horrible person I am for ruining her wedding, and I've had messages from her friends telling me how awful it was for me to tell her parents after she asked me not to, and saying how I've basically ruined Pete's career, etc. I tried to explain that letting them continue assuming would have led to worse consequences, but apparently I should have just been able to hide the whole thing somehow. My friends say I did nothing wrong, but my stepdad is now not speaking to Jen, and her whole wedding has been canceled because of me. So I do feel guilty. Am I the asshole? I have thoughts.
Yeah, well, for me, this is one where I want to hear both sides, kind of, you know?
Okay.
Like, I feel like there's more to this.
Really?
To this story, kind of. Yeah, what are your thoughts?
I think she's not the asshole. I think that Jen probably settled for a guy because Pete probably liked OP and she got engaged. He couldn't have her. So he settled for the next best thing, which was Jen. Jen probably knows that deep down, doesn't want to admit it. And I feel like she's jealous of Pete's feelings for OP, and she thinks that marrying him will solve all the problems. And I feel like now she's mad.
Wow. Okay.
Is that not the idea you got?
No, I don't know. There was like one part earlier on that said like, it seems like this has happened before or something. See, this is why I'm not a lawyer.
Actually, this is...
I would need to read a brief. I would need to read a brief like lawyers, 300 times.
Yeah, they do. They do. They reread it constantly.
I just felt like there was something in there that was like,
I know. Like, she was jealous of her past relationships or something.
I feel like this is also, though, like an issue across the board. Like, I've been watching Real Housewives. I always bring it up. I know, right? But every season, there's always some type of like infidelity, or like the latest season of the Real Housewives of Potomac. The one Real Housewife, Giselle, accused the other housewife, Candace's husband, Chris, of making her feel uncomfortable by like following her into her dressing room by herself to talk.
Oh.
And she said he didn't do anything, like didn't try to make any advances on her, anything. But she was like, I was uncomfortable that he came into my dressing room by myself. And it was this huge storyline the whole season.
Okay.
And it was blown like huge. And Giselle claimed she didn't want it to be blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
Candace was like, you can't make claims like that. It's going to hurt his career, all of these things, which I think is true, you know?
Yeah.
But that's why these accusations get thrown around very quickly. And like, I would love to know, and it's not that I don't believe her.
Yeah.
Over him, but like I would like to know more specifics of like what it was, you know what I mean? Because it is like, and I mean, obviously this is a big deal.
Yeah.
They were getting married, the wedding's off.
Yeah.
But also, do you think there were other maybe red flags that the parents were like enough to step in where they're like, we're not paying for you to marry this man, like he is not it?
I kind of don't think there would need to be other red flags. Like, I feel like there wasn't anything else about their past relationships, but basically the entire time that OP worked at the dad's company, Jen worked there too. And OP was friends with Pete, and everyone in the office would joke about Pete having a crush on her. So, like, for 4 years, from the time that OP was 22 to 26, Jen saw everyone in the office making jokes about how Pete likes OP. And maybe Jen secretly always liked Pete and then was resentful towards her sister because Pete liked her sister, not her. So then when Pete finally started giving attention to Jen, Jen was like, oh, finally, it's my turn. Like, now he likes me. And she probably always had it in the back of her mind that he liked her sister. Yeah. Probably was a bit insecure. And then when she found out that Pete hit on the sister or propositioned her, she got mad at the wrong person. She should have gotten mad at Pete, but instead she got mad at her sister. Yeah. No. And if my daughter was trying to marry someone that propositioned my other daughter and I knew about it and I kind of watched it happen, I wouldn't give my blessing to that man anyway. So I feel like that's all it would take for me to be like, I'm not paying for this. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. I think that's a fair, definitely viewpoint.
I feel like they almost needed to tell her that we're not going to pay for the wedding because what else could they have done to like get it across to her, like get the point across to her that this is not the guy for you? Yeah,
and they don't want to be having her make excuses for him and chase him along when he's doing the wrong thing. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think she's an asshole.
No, I don't think she's an asshole.
Yeah, I would have told everyone immediately. If my sister asked me not to tell my parents, I would have said I won't tell my parents if you break up with him. But I would tell my parents, I think, if...
It's, like, hard, though, because, like, we, at the end of the day, we're all adults, right? Like, if she wants to make what we feel is, like, a dumb choice to stay with him, like, isn't that her choice to make? I mean, it's not great, obviously. Like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't want my sister to do that either, but at the end of the day, you kind of have to, like, let them make that choice for themselves. So you don't have to pay for it, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I would tell my parents because, yeah, you're right. You can make whatever decision you want, but I'm not going to pay for it. And the parents would need to know that this crazy thing happened in order to, like, take away the funds, you know? Yeah. Eek! I don't think you're an asshole.
No, I don't think you're an asshole.
This makes me sad because I feel like so many people settle in relationships, and Jen is definitely settling. Like, why would you want to marry someone that literally propositioned your sister? Yeah,
and I hate, like, family fights.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that. Again, housewives, family fights, like, all the time. And you watch it on TV, and it's like, no one, like, I would never want to fight with my sisters like that. No. You know, like, they're, like, my best friends. You and Aaron are, like, best friends. Yeah. You guys are together all the time. You know what I mean?
Like, over a guy, too.
Right.
It's like some guy. Like, I heard this phrase that was like, every guy is just some guy, but every girl is that girl. And I was like, that's so true.
Men ain't shit.
They're not worth your time.
No.
I saw this meme that said, last time I took a man seriously, I lost my will to live.
Yikes.
And I was like, why do I low-key relate? Anyway, top comment was, not the asshole. How did Pete think this was going to end? If he really believed that you would take him up on his offer, he was blowing his career up anyway, as well as his relationship. Jen's also the asshole for blaming you in this matter when she should have placed all the blame on Pete. Facts. I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like, why are we so quick to be like, oh, Pete, like, you're ruining his relationship and you're ruining his career? Like, does he have no blame in the situation?
No, yeah, he 100% does.
Like, no, he did this to himself. He took a risk and it didn't work out the way that he wanted it to.
And, I mean, Talk about being like stupid. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
don't like calling people stupid, but like that's stupid. You're dumb.
Yeah.
Like of all people, you're gonna go after her sister and old coworker and like all XYZ.
Stupid.
Dumb.
Dumb.
Yep. You ain't no lawyer.
No.
You can't cover up those tracks. Yikes.